This is our news, the weekend edition, and on the broadcast tonight, another boy abducted from his home by a woman and dropped off a short while later. Plus, the Social Services Minister says statistics show child abuse cases are on the rise. And what you can expect at the biggest bridal show of the year tomorrow.
Our news is brought to you by Alive.
Good evening, I'm Andrew Knowles, and thanks so much for joining us. Police have yet another child abduction case to investigate. This after an 8-year-old boy was taken from his home last evening, however dropped off a short while later. According to reports, 2 boys aged 8 and 10 years old were standing in the front of their home on Collins Close off Lamumba Lane around 9 p.m. last night, when a woman in a silver vehicle stopped and began talking to the boys. We're told the 10-year-old boy walked away. However, the woman was able to lure the 8-year-old into her vehicle and drove off. Now, a short time later, the boy was reportedly dropped off on the Tonic-Williams-Darling Highway close to the entrance of the city dump. The young boy has since been reunited with his parents and taken to hospital, where he was examined by a doctor and found to be in good health. And while this particular incident does bear some similarities to the other abduction cases, no word from police on whether they believe the suspect to be the same child snatcher as before. Now, anyone with information that can assist police with this investigation is asked to contact 919, 911, Crime Stoppers at 328-TIPS, or the Central Detective Unit at 502-9991 or 2. Meantime, Minister of Social Services Frankie Campbell says, according to statistics, there were 627 child abuse cases reported in 2018, which indicated a 10% increase since 2017, which saw 570 cases.
The total number of child abuse cases that were reported throughout the Bahamas for the period 2015 to 2018 are listed. I'm not going to bore you with all of the statistics. However, I will say this, the numbers seem to be constant and consistent. Also constant and consistent in the categories are verbal abuse. In 2015, and these are reported cases, in 2015 we had 13, 2016 9, 2017 4, 2018 4. Emotional abuse. In 2015 we had 10, in 2016 we had 4, in 2017 we had 6, and in 2018 we had 11. These are the lowest in the reported categories. However, in my humble opinion, and bringing to bear my personal experience, these may actually be the highest in occurrence.
There were 121 reports of physical abuse, 213 reports of sexual abuse, 6 reports of incest, 4 reports of verbal abuse, 11 of emotional abuse, 266 reports of neglect, and 6 reports of abandonment. Campbell said we must treat our children like the precious
awareness
gems
removes every excuse for abuse. Sadly, child protection is not given the priority by the community that it deserves. And too often, it is minimized. Children are treated as if they don't have a voice, thoughts, or emotions. But a child is a person worthy of love and respect, and should be treated as such.
Meantime, Child Protection Month will be observed for the month of April. Well, the Social Services Minister is also weighing in on the killing of a juvenile and calling on parents to do their part to teach children conflict resolution skills. With that, here's Georgie O'Bain.
While admitting that he was not aware of the particulars of Tuesday's killing of a teenage boy, Social Services Minister Frankie Campbell admitted that killings of that sort are usually linked to several social ills. Campbell said parents must teach their children conflict resolution skills in the wake of Tuesday's senseless killing. Amid reports that the 15-year-old victim was constantly bullied, Campbell said parents must teach their children the power of walking away.
There have been many instances of violence, fights within or around schools that have resulted in serious harm and in one case even death to a student. One of the things I would like to admonish is that we as parents and guardians help our children in the area of critical thinking, in the area of consequential decision making. It is those skills and tools that will help our child to decide, yes, I've been offended, yes, I've been aggressively approached by another individual, but returning the favor, what is the consequence?
Campbell said officials must also find a way to make gangs less appealing to children who are lacking a sense of family.
The presence of a gang is not likely to affect the confident young person, the person with a high self-esteem, the person who is empowered to say no, the person who left home with certain morals and values that can't be easily shaken.
Campbell said at the end of the day, the older generation has to accept responsibility for the behavior of today's generation and allow them a chance to vent their frustrations.
Some of them have some frustrations that if they are allowed to vent, they can go past. But as long as those situations remain bottled up inside, they are likely to act out and possibly at the wrong time.
Reporting for our News, I'm Georgia Bain.
Still ahead, police officers hopeful for a pay raise in the upcoming budget. That story and more when our News, the weekend edition, returns.